Hello Dragon Ball Super players, this is Spars Gaming, and today we are bringing you a very interesting deck list slash discussion on something we've been brewing up and testing extensively for a couple months now. Ever since before the ban list, we've been testing this deck, and we have to change it a little bit because of the ban list, but no, that doesn't matter. The deck is really good. The version we're running is super interesting. It's fun to play. It's something that people need to test out if you love Dark Broly, if you like black decks in general and aggro decks. So I feel like aggro right now is pretty weak due to the ban list and due to the fact that I feel like Bandai is just over-tuning black colors way too much, and black decks are just way too nerfed or like I said, over-tuned, and just don't do a lot right now. And I just feel that we need a little bit more support to make black great again, believe it or not. So yeah, I love this deck. My brother has been the one playing the deck more than me, but we've been testing together and testing with others, and it just has a lot of positives to it, and it's gotten us great results of what we want. It's still not there yet. We still need a little tweaking around to make it the best it can be, but I feel like this deck has a lot of potential, especially coming up now, the new set that it's still, there's nothing announced yet, but the fact that we already know that Vegeta is gonna be there, so more Black Saiyans, so hopefully we get more cards and more utility cards for this deck, generic cards that can just push this deck back to the meta to be tier 1, because I don't believe this deck is tier 2, but it's not tier 1. It's just in between. I don't want to say 1.5, but it's almost there. It just needs a little bit more a push and a little bit more support, or indirect support, and it will just be back in the meta. It's just, unfortunately, the errata is a hindrance to this leader's potential. I will personally ask Bandai myself to please unerrata this leader. We need this leader back to 100%, because it's just not fair, especially what the decks that we have right now do is just do a little bit more, especially like Cooler. I know Green Cooler is just unisons and all that, but still, like, that's not fair that that leader can do that and this can't. But I understand why they did it. But so yeah, let's just talk a little bit on the channel, about the channel, and we're doing pretty good numbers. I would like a little bit more subscribers. I'm trying to push for the channel to be my main source of income. I want it to be in the future. Obviously, we still need growing to do, but I feel like we're getting there. A good start. We're already getting a good numbers on the channel, and I appreciate everybody who's watching, especially in the Cooler video. That a lot of my other ones have been I post on the Facebook page, and the Cooler video got a lot of searches in YouTube itself, not just externally. So that's awesome that we're getting traction, not just through Facebook. So people are looking for videos and looking at mine and watching it. So I appreciate that support, and I'm trying to do a little bit more promotion. I just personally try not to overly push myself. I feel like I'm needy or something, but we're breaking a little bit that and trying to be more out there and try to do more, be more presentable and be better, not sound too robotic or scripted. But yeah, we're doing great. I feel like we're striving for more. That's what I want to do, strive for more and just do great. Store championships got announced, so me and my brother are definitely going to the store championships here in Massachusetts. So we're gonna go to all of them. We're gonna do great. Hopefully top. Hopefully get profiles, get some traction with that. That's gonna help us so much. So yeah, other than that, we're gonna talk about this in a second. So yeah, so please like and subscribe on the channel. It helps us so much. You guys do that, and comment. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us where we're doing good. We need the feedback. We need to get better. We need to strive for more. That's what I'm trying to do. Build my empire on perfection and make everything look great. The thumbnails, I know I got feedback on the thumbnails, and people are enjoying it, and I'm enjoying my thumbnails. All the photos you see in the thumbnails are all from Google, especially on a DeviantArt that I found. I don't remember. I'll try to put in on the description box the person. It's fantastic work, and I've been doing the editing myself. So if you need help out with thumbnails, just reach me out. Self plug there, you know, you gotta do that. So yeah, let's on to the deck. Enough rambling around. This is what we came for. So, Dark Broly, the king of aggro himself, I guess? Question mark? So yeah, let's go to our backside. Active main, it's once per turn. You add up card. You add up to one card from your life, and then you look at top 5 and pitch any 30Ks up to 3 to the drop area, and then bottom deck the rest of the cards. So, mistake that a lot of people do with this leader is that they look at the top 5 immediately. I wouldn't do that. I always tell my brother, look at the just look at 1, look at 2, look at 3. If you get 30s, pitch them. If you only see 2, I would recommend just pitch those 2, because you don't know what other cards you're gonna look. If there's those cards, you'd rather draw them, then you just rather not like risk it. It's always play safe, always be optimal in your plays. So that's what I recommend people do. And with this leader, I just feel that's the best way you can play the leader on this side. And when he attacks, he draws a card. That's his auto. His awakening skill is that when he has 4 or less life, he draws 2 and flips himself over. No alternative awakening, he basically self-awakens. So that's pretty great. So we'll get to there when we get there, but we're running obviously the token negates. I feel like if they want to stall you out at 5, at least if you have that, you can just negate and stop their whole turn basically, because you negate, and then okay, now they have to commit to either attack and block, and then like waste more resources. So that's a good way. If you can just get to have a token negate, go to 4 that way, and then just swing and awaken instead of going to free, because you can up to 1 card from your life, but like if you don't want to risk, you want to draw the cards and guarantee that those utility cards early on, it's better to do that. So he doesn't attack on draw. Basically, you add you place 3 battle cards with 30k power from your warp to your dropper, and then you draw a card. That's the only way to draw. And then he has active main. You can basically combo with 30k 0 combo power from your hand. Well, I think he's played. Well, it says 30k for hand or battle area, or your hand or battle area. But realistically, you're using mostly the Broly's. That's why I say the 0 combo power ones, because it says 30k, but really you're gonna use the Dark Broly's for that. There's no point of wasting a regular 5k combo power for that, so just using the Dark Broly's. And the leader gets 5k, and it's once per turn. Unfortunately, that's the errata. It sucks, but oh well. That's not much you can do about that. It's a little bit overtuned that way, but I wish they just made, instead of like they did the Bibbidi super combo, give it like a certain limit or minimum of something. Example, you can only pitch 2 or something like that, like minimum of 2 cards they can or max 2 cards they have to you can combo off. That's not my opinion. I'm gonna I try to keep it to myself, but you know, gotta throw it out there. So yeah, so that's, I wish they've done that, but it is what it is. We're going to play how it is intended to be, and I feel like it's a little bit overtuned, but it does the job. You get rid of those dead 0 combo power Dark Broly's in your hand. So let's head to the main deck. We're running this deck with this card. We're gonna put it right here. So this is Demigra, Momentary Ally. So what he has an auto if your leader is a black Saint only, which our leader is, or a God only. If you play a card with Overwhelm, he gets Wormhole. Dark Overwhelm counts because it's still Overwhelm, technically speaking. So he has a +1. You can place 2 black battle cards from the warp to a drop area. It helps out. The -3 is basically you can add up. You -3 add up to 2 black battle cards with energy cost of 7 or less with Overwhelm skill from your warp to your hand. So it's like a semi-mini Beyond Limits. So I put it here because it's important for the deck. Just put it here, the glares not great. Or let me just put it around here. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, this card is it's not the heart and soul, but it's very important to our strategy, what we want to do. I personally will run more than 2. I think we can bump it up to 4. It's just a good card and help us out a lot. The only bad part about this strategy we're working on, or our main strategy, is that you're gonna tap a lot, and unfortunately Dark Broly is not the greatest deck to tap out on, and it sucks. But you know, that's what we're dealing with. But the thing is, with this version of deck, it's very tanky. You can take a lot of hits, and you have a lot of combo power, believe it or not. So yeah, so let's get to the other cards. So the Dark Broly's running 3 of these cards. So we're running 2 of him and 1 of the Vindicator. He's just a name. His effect doesn't come off too much. You can Overwhelm. You can help out with this. So a lot of these cards we're talking about are 30Ks. So that's something to note. And this guy helps us a lot because since he counts as a black energy, you can just black card in anywhere. So you can just put in your energy, and he's not red. So the Vegeta super combo doesn't turn off. And he's really good on the U7 matchup because you can just since they can't warp because their leader's permanent, then they're forced to do on this card's mercy. So it can help out a lot on that matchup. We're running other Dark Broly's. These are the 0 power combo. We're only running 5. We're only running 3 of the Ravager and 2 Berserkers. If you want, blockers right now are really good. And small story, I used to hate blockers back in the day. I thought they were the worst cards in the game. They should have never existed. Until a couple years later, now I think blockers are super broken in this game. I feel like they give a extra defense, and some cards have blockers and they don't deserve to have blocker skills, and it's insane. Like example, the Kefla dual color, multicolor blue yellow. You can just rival her. She's blocker, like that's insane. You can just a combo, pop a card, and then block. That's broken. So the reason I'm saying that is because I would like to run the blocker Dark Broly because that card is a lot better than playing these ones because you can just play up 30k blocker, and that's just like that's not easy to go to run over. So you can go 2-1 and then these 2 replace them with the blocker one. I would always run at least a couple of them because you just need them because of your leader skill, and you don't play them out since now they're Rada. You have to pay an energy to play them, so you don't really see yourself playing that a lot. It depends on the situation really. This can come off to like help you have more control. This can help hand control, but if you can take one out and then play the blocker one. We're gonna test that out though. See if it works out. This deck doesn't need a lot of defensive cards. You just try to be aggro, but the fact that you can be tanky is insane. So yeah, we're only running 5. I feel like this is the perfect ratio. You can run 6 if you want and run one of the blocker and keep this ratio, or put 4 and 2, whatever you want, because you're really want them because they're 30Ks. That's mostly it. And if you have them in hand and in the field, can you just combo off with its active with the leader's active battle. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad lineup really. We're going to the main engine of the deck. We're running 4 Beyond Limits. Pretty good card. Helps out grab a little bit of everything of the deck. 2 Feigned Reading. It's not bad. I don't agree with people play more than 2. Doesn't do a lot for the deck really. And then we're gonna show you a couple cards and then you're like, what the heck? We have 3 of this SS4 Prepping for Fusion, and then this one Authority in the Dark Empire SS4 Goku. So try to see if it focuses. Okay, there we go. So he is a overwhelm 6 with black energy. When he's basically a blocker, so it helps out with defense. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, and at the end of the turn, switch this card to active mode. So basically you play him off, attack, draw, and then at the end of the turn, stand him up. So he helps out. Like, he's a 30K. Yeah, they can all get removed. They don't have barrier or any protection. But the fact is, they have to waste resources to take care of these pesky blockers, pesky cards, and then they're like, oh great, I have to now waste resources on them. This guy is he's another blocker. The Xeno Evolve on a Goku 1 cost, and that engine we're showing in a little bit. Basically, he can when he is played, or you activate its blocker skill, you can play a energy cost of 1 black skillless card from your drop. Yeah, for your drop in or warp in rest mode. It plays in rest mode, which sucks, but it doesn't matter. You should have another card for next turn if they don't do anything. So we'll show you in a second the engine. We're running more Vegetas. If you see, we're running 4, 8, and then 8 Gokus, and then you're running 2, 4, 6. I feel like the Gokus do a little bit better, so that's why we're running more. But this Vegeta doesn't do much. This one is basically Xeno Evolve, basically its counterpart, Prepper Fusion. So what he does is, when this card attacks, choose up to 1 black skillless battle card in your deck and add it to your hand. So it helps out with our engine, our skillless engine. Spoiler alert. Sorry. So we're going to this one right now. He's crit overwhelm 6. When he attacks, he can basically warp up to 6 or less cards. I mean 4 or less. Sorry. Energy costs add up to a total energy cost of 4 or less and send it to a warp. So he's like a worse version of Secret ID, because you have to attack with him first. So if they do counter, then that sucks. They were gonna waste research on this. He's critical overwhelm 6 energy 1. But the fact is, I don't know if it matters really, but he's like a black energy and he's not. He's like random 1 energy. Like, if it matters, I guess. Doesn't really matter, but I guess I can mention it as a small fact. But yeah, these engine is pretty good. It's helps us a lot and adds our count for 30Ks. So we have a significant amount of 30Ks. So you saw, like, when we started, So the dark Broly's. So we're running a 2, 5, and 8, and then 10, 12, 16, 20, 22. So that's a huge count of our deck. If I'm not mistaken, I think we're at 60. So it's a huge part. I built and helped build this deck with my brother, and I told him, let's use the same logic as you use for U7. Run a small package of non-engine cards as possible. Like the 30Ks are what matters. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of 30Ks that are very optimal for this deck. To be honest, they're mostly Gogeta targets, but they're not really the most optimal cards to run. But you just want them because they're 30Ks and they're easy to play. You want energy to play them or Xeno evolve them. So like they're not the best engine to run, but I just feel like they're like, as long as that you have a huge count of 30Ks, and also a huge point is that they're 5K combo power, which matters a lot in this deck because you don't want to tap out and have only 1Ks and dead cards in your hand. So it matters how much ratios you're running. So I feel like this amount of Gokus and Vegetas matters, and also because they're 30K. So it's literally the most important thing, because you don't, like, believe it or not, the amount of times that we whiff on the backside's top 5 is insane, which it's not on our part. It's just how the nature of the beast works. And so yeah, so we're trying to like play as most optimal possible and run the best ratios that we can. And as you see, Overrealm so helps us out with these guys with a Demigrass. So we're going to the Gogeta package. So we're running 2 of Fearless Fusion and 1 unfortunate one of limited forwarding the Dark Empire, and it's a pretty one, at least. Everybody knows what this card does. We're not gonna explain it at all. Just the fact is, it's limited. I really wish it was banned. It doesn't deserve to be at 1. It needs to be banned. In the future, they could break this card again if they really wanted to, and so they have to be really careful with printing out Black Saiyan cards. But that's the problem with also overtuning, because that's what they did with the last set with Toa. It's just beyond overtune. It's just, I don't think it does a lot for the in this meta. Toa. We're gonna do a profile on that one. It's a fun deck though. It's entertaining and fun. But yeah, I feel like they need to be careful with this card at 1. Something could happen. It can break this card. Who knows? Maybe I'm talking too much about it. But anyways, it is what it is. At 1, it deserves to stay at 1. Never come back more than 1. Either 1 or banned. But it's a pretty awesome card. It does a lot, and Beyond Limits can get it back, and our SCR can get it back. 2 Fearless Fusion, you don't need more than 2. You're really not gonna be doing a lot of Union Fusion. A lot of these cards do what they're supposed to do and play them by themselves. You're not really gonna be fusing a lot. These are just help you out to remove and add another blocker on the floor, on the field, or removal, double strike early. So these are more, like I said, utility cards that help you out, push down for damage, or add removal or another block on the floor. So running one of this Bardock. We're never gonna play him because he's just free energy. It's way too much energy to spend on, but it's just a 30K in name or power. Free Upbringing Watch No More. I will bump this card to 4. It's really good. It's just I feel like this is the main target you want to pitch for your leader. And also the fact if you run more than 2, they're gonna be like, okay, he already threw 2 of them. That's a reasonable number for a lot of people that play with, or that's the quantities that people play with. And we play free, so that extra one can help us out. And if you're trying to go for a game, you're like, brainwash no more, and you're like, oh crap. So yeah, that third one can come up, and like I said, you're mostly going to use it for its leader's top 5. So again, more 30Ks. And then last 2 30Ks running is the Migra. This card is so awesome. I really am sad that this card is a little bit power crept. It doesn't do much. To be honest, it's mostly just to dump it with leader, unfortunately. And also, it's 5K combo power, so that's another thing you're running it for. And if you play it, it's fine. It does so much for you, and it can be very hard for the opponent to deal with when it's played. If they do something to it, then it's unfortunate, but it's mostly like a gacha card. Like you play and you're like, okay, do something to it. If not, then it's just gonna accrue so much value in the later games. So yeah, just 2. I would even cut it to side deck or just to 1. It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't do too much in this format right now. Especially there's so much minusing and a lot of removal in this format, so I would even cut it, but that's up to you. If you want to copy this list, net deck it, it's fine. You can do whatever you want with this card. I like it at 2 in main deck. Personally, would cut it, but that's up to player preference. And then the engine that surprised me so much, it worked. I can't believe it. It's so awesome, and it did so much for me, and we were surprised of the outcome and how awesome this engine is. So yeah, that's it. That's I feel like the reason why we brought back Dark Broly. So we got inspired by a profile we saw from UniX, and he posted a guy topped with vanilla beatdown Dark Broly, and we're like, damn, that seems fun. So we tested out, I think it's the same ratio, so I'm not 100% sure. I think we changed it up. Don't remember, don't quote me on that. But damn, this engine is so fun. If you don't know what Scions does, +1, he gets 5K, and him and the skillless get 5K. And then you're really not gonna resolve that too much. It has come up, and you can make him 15, and that's a lot of pressure. And it's -1 is what you're really gonna do the most. Basically, you send him to the drop area. Basically, you -1, and then obviously I want to say send him because he's gonna die because you're gonna play him for 1 energy. Play up to 2 skillless battle card, energy cost of 1 from your deck or drop area, which is kind of relevant. You don't want to play for the drop area because you could mess up your ratios in of your overrealm. So you gotta be careful in that. It's had come up that it kind of does ruin your ratio. So you just gotta pay attention and count and make sure you're doing the most optimal decisions. So it matters where you're playing them, you believe it or not. So then you play these 2, and then I think we're running more the Goku because the Goku looks nicer than the Vegeta. But if we're talking about ratios for Uni Infusion or whatever, it's fine ratio. I feel like the ratios between Gokus and Vegetas don't really matter in this version of the deck. So yeah, love this engine. It just helps you out. We've gotten people down just with 1, 2, and then if you have 2 energy, you can play another 1, and they're like, damn. Because you play them 2, and then they're like, okay, they're not awake, and then 10, 10, and then leader swings another 10, and then they're like, okay, that's it. He has 1 energy, he's not gonna tap out, and then you play another 1 and swing with him. Because obviously you're gonna swing first and then pop him. So, and then you play another one and you're like, oh my god, no way. And then you can get up to basically 1, 2, 3, 4 swing, and then play another one 5. And if you're lucky, if you have more ratios, more of them decked, then that's 2 more swings. That's a lot. And if they awaken, then it doesn't matter. You force them to awaken early, so you can go aggro with this package. It does a lot. So yeah, this engine is extremely fun. I feel like it's what brought us back to bring Dark Broly to testing again. It's just really fun, and it's just catches people off guard also, because they don't expect like 10k vanillas to do anything. But then when you see multiple of them in the board, and you're like, oh god, that's a lot. So yeah, it's fun. People need to test it out. So we're going to go to one-offs for last. We're gonna do the utility cards of the deck. Free Gravy. What he does is basically when he's combo, you can put up to 3 black cards, not battle cards, black cards. So extra cards, so that would help you over them. And that's about it. And it just helps you out to fuel your drop area, so that way it helps you out with that. Super combo of choice is Vegeta. Nothing special. Just draw 2. Let's put card under, draw 2. Bottom deck a card. Sorry, can't talk right now. And then draw 2. The fact you awaken super quick matters. So negates. We're running 2 power bursts, 2 of support of the Dark Empire, and we're running 1 petrification. So reason one, you don't want to clog out too much. It's just the fact that you don't. Like I was talking to my brother. Like, you can't be running too many cards that are dead in your hand, especially if you tap out. This card is the best one, and this one also. But the fact that you have to take lives and then you get yourself down to a lethal range is just scary. So you gotta be wary of that and be careful how you run these cards, these 4 cards. So that's why we run 1, just in case you have a really nice negate, and just in case if they have a really big boss monster, they can just like, nah, blanket. So like I said before, if you're 5, you can do this, put yourself to 4, and then block, and then helps you out so much. And they're like, okay, that sucks. So there's a benefit if they try to stall you out at 5, and or you get yourself to 5 life soon. So yeah, and then these can grab the vanillas. That's kind of relevant, because you can just grab the vanilla off this, and then your turn, be aggressive, and then put 1 under, put the vanilla back in your deck, and then you can, if you want to go more aggro and invest more cards, play the Scion and play it back, one of those vanillas again. So it's a small little combo you can do, but yeah, it's just like I said, small utility. You don't want to be running too many deck cards in this deck, especially you don't have any energy manipulation or anything like that. So and then this card is so awesome. So he's deflect, dual attack. He's a permanent. If this card is removed from the battle area, removed from the game instead, it's fair. When he attacks, he can put up to 3 black battle cards in the warp to drop area. The fact is not once per turn, so it's dual attack. He can put essentially 6 cards back. The way you play him is paying 2 energy. If you have 8 or more cards in your warp, you can play him from the warp. So if he counts also. So and the way you get him to the warp is like you pitch him, or his auto is a burst, so you can burst him. So like, and the fact is, it matters, believe it or not. He's a 5k power, so like cards like these generally tend to be 1k or something like that. The fact he's 5k and you just combo him off, and then you can just play him in your turn when you warp him, do something to warp him, or you play over him, and then you can just play him back. It's like, so it's just awesome. Obviously, if he gets removed, then you lost him forever. It's fair. It's not to loop him around. Like, that would be too insane. I will actually bump him to free because he's never dead. And he's never dead. 5k power, energy. Play him. So it doesn't matter. It's all awesome. And then the last 4 cards. Put her there. So 1 Champa is just to close off games if you can. It can come up. We've killed people with this. This is basically our free overwhelm. Don't know. It's alright. It's not bad. It helps you out clear games, but if you mill it, you mill it. You can grab it with Beyond Limits. And this card, it just helps you out to be more defensive. If you play him, he's barrier, so he's one of the few cards that have protection. And he's double strike. He can help out clear games if he can. He's 19k. It's kind of relevant. Attack. So the fact that you can bring them out and or if it depends on the situation, like if you know you can't kill them off, you can play him, a blocker, play possibly him to be 5k, or him to be defensive, or him to have another 30k. So the fact is that you can play him and be defensive. So play a blocker or play another card, doesn't really matter. But the fact that you have combo power, and also you can when your opponent attacks, you can send a card to drop area. Choose 1 card in your battle area over skill plays in the owner's drop area. Yep. When your opponent attacks, negate your attack. So like, it doesn't say a battle card or anything. It's just like negate the attack. So you can just send, okay, bye. Like anything with overrun skills, yeah, okay, bye. So that's, and it's not once per turn, that's also broken. So yeah, so that's the profile. It's very interesting and it's fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and it's a profile that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's just so awesome what this deck can do and be so tanky and defensive. So yeah, I appreciate everybody watching the profile and got this far. Sorry again, the video is long. I just like rambling around and liking making longer formats. I'm still planning to do other stuff. I'm not sure what else I want to do yet. I'm still twinkling around and what I want to do for the future. The more profiles coming up, store championships are coming up, so that's more content there. But I would like to do other stuff, not just profiles, discussions, podcasts. I don't know, anything in the future. I'll decide and let everybody know. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for getting this far in this video with me. Appreciate if everybody leave a like and subscribe. Appreciate everything you guys do for me, and I always want everyone to remember to always stay super and have a good one.